Okay, so I researched how to manage your images, and there's only one place that you can manage your images, and that is when you go and upload an image. You could click New Image here, or add an image. But basically, um, this is where you make all your edits. So you can see this is normally where you show up, and it's got all your images. To create a folder, you just click the Create Folder button and test, and it will pop up right there. And then you can delete the test, and it'll go away. We've already got logos and header banners, and there's nothing in header banners yet. And if you go to your main folder, unfortunately, like these header banners here, there's no way to drag them into the header banners area. The only way to add things to your areas, like I've added, you can see these logos, is to actually go into the folder and then add new image. So going forward, my main suggestion is never to add images to your main folder anymore. Always go into a new folder or create a folder for whatever you're going to want and add it there, so that you don't have to search through everything um, for all your one-time stuff. Although I guess if you know it's going to be a one-time uh, image that you're never going to use again, you could add it here in this section, and in the main folder. But otherwise, if you think there's a possibility that you might use it again, you add it to header banners, logos. Let me create another one. Might be backgrounds, right? Like background images, um, and anything like images of you guys would actually be another good one. I'm gonna put and T, right? So, um, did that work? I wonder if I'm not allowed to have the I might not be allowed to use the ampersand. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. Miles, Tessa. I want it to be spaced so I can delete it and just create another one. Miles, Tessa. Right, so that's pictures of both of you. Maybe pictures of Miles and pictures of Tessa. Those are the ones I can think of right now. Maybe students, like this one down here. Students, group. Students grouped in group. And testimonials would be another one. Testimonials. So these are some good ones. You might come up with some more as you go. And to be clear, testimonials ones would be like this one, any images of like just one person or you and one other person. So again, you can't drag these in. So like as you go, just upload them into these as you're like, oh, I need this one. Go ahead and upload it into the folders or create a new folder. And to upload it into the folder, you literally go into the folder itself. So like if I want to add something to header banners, I go in here and I can upload something into there. And now it's there. So if I go out of the main folder, it's probably not in the main folder. That was level. So if I go to scroll down to the L's, there's probably no level in there. Let's double check that though. E, F, G, H, I, J. There we go. L. Last chance, like no level, right? And if I don't want something, for example, that one doesn't make sense because it's mine, I can just delete it and it will delete this image. Now, I would wait a little while to make sure before deleting all of these, but you might be able to delete these completely from everything just so they're not cluttering up the space. Although I don't know that it's necessary. As long as you add stuff to these from now on and only use these folders, you really don't need to delete these. It's just waste of time. But one thing I wanted to check is what happens when you delete it. Does it delete it from emails that you've already sent and from previews that you've already sent? So I sent myself a test email with this banner that I know you would never send anywhere else, and this only went to me. And then I deleted this from your images, and it's still showing up in my emails. Like if I refresh this, it's still showing up there. Also, I'm going in here and making sure, does it still show up if like you want to preview the email you sent? And let me go back to this one. Oh, it's still loading. So if I click on this to preview it, it's still showing up in the campaign, so it didn't disappear there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if it disappeared in the campaign reports. Here's the email that I sent. It's still in that email. So that's one thing I wanted to make sure before like telling you, delete any of these is like, you don't want, if you have an automation that uses one of them and then the automation stops working, that would suck. Like if when you delete it, it doesn't look like that's the case, but I would still not delete any of these just in case. It does mess with your automation. Maybe it just takes a while for things to update. And then it would delete later or something, but you don't want like automations to be going out with email images that aren't there anymore. So my suggestion, don't delete these. Just start uploading everything into folders and start only using folders. Oh, and the other thing you'll notice about your logos that I uploaded, there's 2 logos here. One with development method, one without. I highly recommend we only use the one without from now on, just because it's way cleaner. And you often use development method other places, and it's just like swing literacy says everything. Like when someone thinks swing literacy, they think of like, oh yeah, it's how I'm going to improve my dancing, right? So yeah, I know we discussed that before, but never got around to actually editing that logo. So I just went ahead and edited it for you. Now you have a PNG that you can start using without development method and make things look less wordy and more clean. And also, it's just going to brand swing literacy more, right? People see, when they only see swing literacy, it sticks in their mind more. So that is my recommendation there. Oh, and last thing is, I do recommend that you optimize your images going forward if you haven't been optimizing them already. And there's 2 things to optimizing your images before you upload them to the image manager. You want to use something like Image Optim is what I use. So actually, let me pull it up, Image Optim. And I basically just drag my images into there. So swing literacy logo, there's my transparent logo. So you can see right now it's 418 kilobytes. So I'm going to drag it in here, and it will, and this is a free software, by the way. It's going to do a lot of it. There's also another program that I really like called JPEG Mini. If you can see there, let me do this. JPEG Mini Pro. That one costs like, I don't know, $20, $30 or something. Highly recommend that one as well, because it will reduce them even further than this one does. The reason why I use both of them is because this one works for PNGs, whereas this one only works for JPEGs and maybe other things. It doesn't work for PNGs, but it does reduce things more than this one does without affecting the quality of the image. So the quality is still going to be great. But I recommend going forward that before you upload anything into ActiveCampaign, that you just throw it into the image Optum and JPEG Pro, JPEG Mini Pro. Wait for them to decrease. You can see it's already like down to 306. It'll probably lose a bit more over time. JPEGs only take a couple of seconds. PNGs take like a couple of minutes, just so you're aware. And once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and replace this one with that one, so that I already optimized this one, but I forgot to optimize this one. I'm going to put it in so that you have an optimized version of it. And that just allows it to load faster in emails and on your website. Now, on your website, you have a bunch of images that probably aren't optimized already. So you can get something called Short Pixel. It's a plugin that if you want the free version, it'll probably take a couple years before it'll optimize all your images. So I would recommend just paying the 20 or 30 bucks or whatever it is to get the paid version. And then you can optimize all your images at once. And what was I going to say? My settings here, I'll just show them for you, is what I recommend. Lossy, these are all checked, 1920, 1920. And this version here is the recommendations of your settings. And then you can go save and go to bulk process. And if you have not optimized or you've paid for it, you'll be able to click this button to start optimizing all your images. I'm on a free version because most of my images are already optimized and I didn't really care about it. And I don't have as many images as you. So mine are slowly like optimizing 100 of them every month or so. And recognize when it says, 100 a month, that's thumbnails and all these different size versions that they're optimizing. So for every image that you upload, there's actually like 7 images that it's optimizing. So it's really only optimizing, like if you get the 100 per month free version, it's really only optimizing like 20 images each month, which is why it would take like several years to optimize all yours. So you might as well just pay the 20 bucks to get it all optimized right away. And that will speed up your web pages a little bit. And then every time you add new images, I believe this will optimize them as you add them in, if I remember correctly. I think there's a setting for that. If I'm wrong, it will at least optimize them as it goes. Anyway, so I recommend getting this plugin and using that. And then I am going to, this is uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this version and re-add it now that it is optimized. And the other thing to note is I am loading this into your logos folder, which is important to do. All right, and now it is uploaded. And honestly, I would recommend you just delete this so you don't accidentally use this one anymore. But I'm going to let you make that final call there. But that's what I would recommend, is go ahead and just delete that. All right, so now you've got all these set up. So just start uploading things into these as you go, and use these versions when you when you upload things, and try not to use this main folder anymore. Even if you already have something uploaded in here, I recommend don't use it here. Just go ahead and upload it new in the section that makes sense, or create a new folder for it and upload it into that section, so that things stay organized. And then you also know that your optimized versions are in these folders versus old versions are here. All right, that's it. I hope that helps. And I put in a feature request to be able to manage this. I put in a whole bunch of feature requests on how to improve this image manager, or I upvoted everybody else putting in these. So we hopefully can someday move them rather than like having to upload them into it. And we could edit them not like somewhere else. Like, ideally we would be able to go to this tab here and there would be a place to edit them. So I've asked for that and a bunch of other things as well. Like when you create an image, I should be able to use it. Right now, only one of us, like if you create an image, I have to log into your account. I can't log into mine, my version, like my user. So me and Wanda can't use your images. We have to actually log into your account to use them, which is lame. So that's another thing that I put in as a user request, but I'm not hopeful on them changing that anytime soon because a lot of those requests have been in there for a while. But just so you know that there has been feature requests on improving this in a bunch of different ways. All right, that's it. All right, bye.